Well, no one wants tier lists, but I'm going to continue making them. So, now we move on to guns. Guns, guns, guns. One of the biggest parts of entry point. Can't do a mission without a gun, except you can. But it's significantly harder. Let's start with our pistols. UP9, A tier. Actually, no, S tier. UP9 is the perfect stealth weapon. Small, affordable, low recoil. It's good for any loud, or wait, no, not loud mission, stealth mission, because especially on the higher difficulties, since you can deploy with a free one, so it adds nothing to your cost. But anyways, the UP9 is probably the best pistol. K45, B tier. K45 I honestly never really use, but overall it's a good gun. It's good if you don't have the expanded arsenal or the concealment level to hide a Raven or something. But anyways, K45, pretty good. Again, low recoil. You can't put a sight on it, but you really don't put sights on the pistols. And yeah. Alright, Raven. A tier. Honestly, the Raven is just to flex that you have a game pass, and sometimes to flex that you have a lot of money if it's gold. But it's cool that you can change the color and the metal of the gun. But that's about it. It's a one-shot kill to a headshot on an enemy, but its amount of recoil makes it pretty impractical for loud. It's just a really cool looking gun, but not very practical. F57, S tier. The F57 is the best primary loud weapon. It's very good. You can use it well if you have a mastery for it. It's very good for if you put the laser on it and then have steady aim and just run and shoot enemies right in front of you with it. And it's a good weapon. Saw blade, D tier. I don't like the saw blade. It has a lot of ammo capacity, but the movement penalty is very just costly. You basically move insanely slow especially if you're planning to do this on like a legend mission. You have Aegis armor on. You just move at the speed of a glacier. And anyways, gun isn't that good. I would much rather deploy with something like the F57 or an M480, but definitely not a saw blade. S97, A tier. S97 is a good substitute for a gun if you're doing like a mixed Iron Man, where if you fail aloud, if you fail stealth, you don't just reset, but you actually have to fight. It's pretty good because it can be concealed easily, but it also has a high capability for fighting enemies. MM20, basically the S97, but better, but it also costs Robux, so it's not as widely distributed. It's also 3-shot burst, so you can't just hold it down for steady fire, but the damage makes up for that so it's just the S97 but better. CBRC, to be honest, I never have really used it, so I'll just put it in B. 480 MCS, mid B tier. Actually no, I'm gonna move CBRC down to C. M480 MCSU. It's good for close range, bad for long range. Basically what you'd expect in a shotgun. High damage, not too hard to use. You start with one. Yep. Thumper. Now if we're talking about this in combat terms, D tier. But this is just overall usefulness. So this goes in mid A tier, probably. Or low A tier. Because For combat uses, it's terrible, but it's very good for missions like the Lake House, the Financer, the Scientist, for breaking doors, and also it's the bane of the gunship mod. Yep. Alright, Chaw A. S tier. Chaw A is, or no, just the Chaw, CHA, whatever you want to call it, is the best loud secondary. You run a mastery, you run a Juggernaut with rifle mastery and sniper mastery. You basically are unstoppable. The rifles just are insanely good, or the F-57, and then the Chaw. The Chaw is insanely good on high difficulties where you can just shoot through shields. It's especially good for camping points like the doors and Black Dusk and the Black Site, and other places where you just have to sit and wait, waiting for Sparrow and the Withdrawal, just camping on Power Box and the Scientist and the SCRS. Very good gun overall. Well, that's tier list number 3 today. There's going to be 2 more, so I hope you enjoy them.